Hello and welcome to A Moment in Time with Nex. If you don't know me, I go live every single day. I have been live every single day for over 5.5 years straight, and I go live on a lot of different places with a lot of different kinds of content. So I hope that you'll follow me everywhere that you have so that we can stay in touch in case one platform gets shut down or something happens that I start going somewhere else. Then you'll know where to find me. You won't have to memorize my weird username, NexJuice, NexJuice, which means a connected group of people that value positivity. You can just sign up for my email list on my website so you'll always know where we're going to be, what we're going to be up to, and you won't have to miss any content because I do a lot of different kinds of stuff. But right now, here on YouTube, we are doing a book review. And today's book review is on Grit, The Power of Passion and Perseverance by Angela Duckworth. And I actually liked this book. I don't know if I would give it 5 stars, but it was good, at least 3 stars. Pretty solid book. If you don't know me, you'll get used to this, but oftentimes I feel like simple concepts like the one in this book don't really need a 200 some odd page book written about them. That it could be a much shorter book, it could be much more concise, but I understand that, publishers and editors, they push for these big long books because it feels more legitimate or something. And I think this kind of stuff is what keeps people from reading books a lot, because they look at this and they think, oh, how long is this going to take me to read? And they don't want to sit there and go through it and take all the time because there's so many anecdotal stories in here to prove the point that grit is important. So what I do is I love to read. I can read this book quickly. I don't care what size the book is. If it's something I'm interested in, I'm going to read it. And then what I do is I do a little book review here on YouTube. I post my book reviews also and summaries on my Goodreads channel, and then I also put them into an email list. So if you sign up for the email list to stay in touch, I very rarely email you, barely ever, but I do send out my book review emails once every so many months. I try to send like maybe 3 a year at most, and it's a little written summary of what the book is about and what I thought about it. So that way you don't have to read the books, but you can still get what I call the little golden nuggets that I get by mining through them. So for this one, it's pretty simple. It's pretty concise. I mean, this isn't going to be a super long stream about this unless you guys have a lot of questions to go through, because we are doing this live, which means I will be reading comments and sometimes it can go a bit long. Hi, Resting! First comment to the broadcast. How are you? I feel like this is my first time seeing you on a YouTube stream. How have you been? I've been missing you. What are you, a day person again or something? Hi, Art. How are you? Okay, I'm good too. All right, so the main point of this book, the idea of grit, is basically a commitment to consistent effort. So being gritty is like being someone who doesn't give up, someone who perseveres. It's the opposite of being a quitter, is being gritty. A gritter. Gritters and quitters, right? So which are you? Hopefully not a quitter, but there's some really cool tools in this book where you can figure out exactly how gritty you are. So on pages 55 to 56, there is a little section, a little quiz. Oops, one past it. A little quiz that you can use to figure out how gritty you are. And then on the next page, it gives you the grit scale, and it tells you where you compare to the average population. I believe the average is 3.8 on the grit score, and the highest you can get is a 4.9. So mine was somewhere very close to the average, which I did not expect. I thought I was much grittier than the average person, but even if you're not very gritty, then it's okay, because she does talk about ways that you can increase your grit. And why grit is important is because it is very, very closely linked to people's success. So it kind of combines the idea of 10,000 hours to become a master of something and just showing up and not giving up. The idea of the growth mindset as well is kind of built into there. So if you're not familiar with the growth mindset, I did do a review on Carol Dweck's book called Mindset. She's the inventor of the idea of the growth mindset. And it's basically the idea that mindset and what you think and what you believe and really your psychological state is more important than your pure raw talent. So some people are just kind of born naturally having an affinity or a natural ability to do something. But that doesn't mean that they're going to be the most successful person at that thing. Many people who are much less talented, naturally talented at whatever let's say it's a sport, right? Let's say basketball. If you're born much less talented than someone else on your team, you could still consistently outperform them just by being more gritty, by putting in more hours, by putting in more time, by practicing more. And this is especially important for you guys to remember if you are talented at something, you still want to be gritty. Well, that's going to give you a double advantage. Obviously, being naturally talented and having a natural ability for something is an advantage. But what happens for many people who have a natural ability for something, they take it for granted and they squander it because they can just do it. So they don't spend a lot of time practicing. They don't spend a lot of time honing their skills and honing their craft and putting in the necessary time to excel and to get to that top tier level of success. Also, they may not persevere. At the first sign of adversity, or as soon as it stops feeling so easy, they might just quit. They might just give up. They might not really push through to see how good they really could get at this if they could kind of humble themselves and put in the work and put in the effort. So that's the main component of grit, is just not giving up, putting in consistent effort. And that's really like the key to success. Now, of course, there's other things that link people to success, but this is something that helps. It's one of the components that is something that is important to talk about and learn about. She talks about practice, interest, purpose, and hope as being the 4 things that help you to grow your grit and to become more gritty. So you want to be genuinely interested in the thing that it is, right? So for me, I'm genuinely interested in what these books are about. I enjoy reading. So it's something that keeps my attention. If you're not interested in the thing that you're trying to be gritty about, it's going to be really hard for you to get up out of bed and do the hard thing and to keep working at it when you really find no interest in it. It's just not something you're passionate about. So explore, experiment, find the things that really, really hook you, things that you feel like you can spend hours on and just kind of get lost in some world of just exploring and learning about something. Because there's going to be a lot of days where you don't want to put in the work and you don't want to put in the hours and you're not feeling so excited about it. But there has to be at least some initial interest in order to really be able to sustain the energy and effort required to really, really excel and succeed. The second is practice. We kind of talked about that, right? You just have to practice. You have to keep doing it. You have to keep, even when you feel like you can't get any better, you just keep doing it, keep learning, keep growing. Find someone who's the best of the best and start learning from them, asking questions about them, ask if they want to practice together. Never feel like you're there, like you've arrived, that you're at the best you could ever be. Always see how can I get even more of an edge? How can I make this even more interesting or creative or different? How can I modify the industry or the field in which I'm working in? Maybe you can take something to a whole new level never seen before, like breaking a world record for the fastest mile ever ran. When that happened for the first time, I forget the guy's name, Roger Banner, I think, when he broke the record for the fastest mile, then a bunch of people started doing it, so it's like sometimes we think that there's this ceiling and the maximum, the fastest someone could ever run, or the most money someone could ever earn, or the most number of books read in a single year, or whatever your thing is, and then we realize, oh wow, we can actually push even past that. We're capable of even more than we ever realized. And that's where that growth mindset comes into play, where you always think there's more growth that can happen. There's always more development. There's always more to learn. There's always more to do. And practice is always going to make you better, even if just a tiny bit. Third is purpose. Why are you doing it? That's so important, because you're going to need a powerful purpose to get you to do it on the days you don't feel like it, the days you feel lazy, the days you feel tired, the days you feel discouraged. You know, after having a setback or a failure or an unexpected event that kind of took you off course away from the thing you were working on, you have to have that purpose. Why? Why are you going to work extra hard to get back on track and to get back into the flow and keep putting that effort in to reach that level of success that you're looking for? And fourth is hope. Hope for the future. You have to actually believe, this ties into mindset, you have to believe that working hard at this and being committed and being dedicated and being persistent, all of those things, you have to believe that that's actually going to pay off. You know, you have to have hope that this is actually going to get you what you want to get. If you feel hopeless, you're not going to have a lot of energy to put into your work. And that probably goes without saying, but just in case. Sometimes I think things are very obvious because I read books and am in this kind of like environment of talking about these subjects all the time that I think that some of this stuff is common sense. And I really take for granted the amount of knowledge I've learned over many years of studying all of this. So maybe it's not so obvious. So if it's not for you, there you go. Information that can help you be more successful. Also, you can also increase your grit just by being aware of the idea of grit. Being aware that being gritty, being persistent, being committed, being dedicated, putting in the time, putting in that effort is going to get you better results, and you're scientifically proven to have higher levels of success if you are gritty. There is a direct correlation between grittiness and success. Simply learning about this will make you more gritty. It can increase your grit. Encouraging other people to be gritty and to not give up. Well, somehow she said they don't fully understand like the mechanism or the science behind this yet, but they have found consistent results that when you encourage other people to be gritty and to stay with it and not give up on themselves and not give up on their dreams and their goals, it automatically makes you feel more gritty. And you actually, then you're like, you know, I want to practice what I preach. I want to take my own advice, and I want to be more gritty now just by encouraging someone else to not give up. I'm glad you're good. I'm glad you're good. And there was a great quote at the end of this book that I really liked. I shared it out on my TikTok and Instagram right before coming live here with you guys today. And this is the quote. Clarity won't give you more hours in the week, but it will help you get more out of those hours. Did I just burp in the middle of that quote? Let's take that one again from the top. Clarity won't give you more hours in the week, but it will help you get more out of those hours. And we talked about clarity, so we have a different theme every single year. And we had, I think, one of the first years that I ever set a theme, 2017 or 2018, our theme was clarity, getting really clear on what we want. And that is like the basis. That is like step one. Before you want to be gritty, before you can do any of these other things we talk about all the time, is you have to figure out, what are you trying to accomplish? Where are you going? Keep your eye on the prize, because there's going to be a lot of obstacles and barriers and distractions that come up between you and your goal. And the clearer you are about your goal, the easier it will be to stay focused on it and to refocus on it when you do, or if you do get taken off track, which is totally normal and totally fine. Don't beat yourself up too much about it. Be gritty. Get back on the horse. Get back to work. Don't give up. And that's grit. The Power of Passion and Perseverance by Angela Duckworth. It's a pretty good book. I mean, the test to figure out how gritty you are in that grittiness scale is probably one of the only reasons I would think that you would need to go out and then buy this book, unless you don't believe me and you want to read all the different studies and science and anecdotes that prove that grit is important. Otherwise, the moral of the story is don't give up. Find something you're interested in. Pursue it passionately. Put in a lot of practice. Put in a lot of effort. Put in a lot of hours. Do not give up. Do not quit. Remember what the future holds, and remember why you're doing it. And that's going to help you to be more gritty and get the outcome that you want. So here's to all of your success. Cheers to overcoming your fears and getting that success. I love you guys. You are worthy of being loved and feeling comfortable in your own skin. This has been a Moment in Time with Nex. If you don't know me, I go live every single day. I have been live every single day for over 5.5 years straight, and I go live on a lot of different places with a lot of different kinds of content. It's NexJuice everywhere, NexJuice. I think most of my links are in the description of this video, so feel free to click through and follow everywhere, sign up for the email list where I send out book reviews, and also check in every so often with updates on our channel, where we are going to be streaming, what we're focused on. I've recently started writing a book of my own, so hopefully we can all continue to stay connected and grow together in positivity and productivity. I love you. See you later. I will be live tonight on Twitch, depending on when you're watching this. Tonight, September 7th, 2022, at 11 p.m. Eastern Time, which is in about 4 hours or so, with Writing Wednesday, where I'll be focusing on writing my book. We'll be doing productivity Pomodoro sessions, and you can join us to work on whatever you want to work on. We do 20-minute, fully focused, no distractions, no interruptions, no engaging with chat, focused little chunks, and then we take 5-minute break. 20-minute chunk, 5-minute break. And you can do as many of those Pomodoros with us as you want. We usually get we run those 5-minute breaks a little bit long. So we like to have fun. All right, we like to work hard. We like to have fun. If that sounds like something you'd enjoy, follow my Twitch channel, and I'll see you tonight.